Hey, hello everyone. Hi, welcome to Tauke Talks with Dr. Shaz, the founder of MakCik Travels. I see almost everyone is here already, so I'll just go ahead. And before we start, we will be talking about the agenda for today's Tauke Talk session. I will be starting off with a brief description of the guidelines for today's session. We also have an introduction from Dr. Shaz, and so she can tell us more about like her business, MakCik Travels, and also the sharing session where I'll be asking a few questions about her entrepreneurship journey. Q&A session is where you can ask your questions, so feel free to ask it in the chat. We'll be asking her, Dr. Shaz, the questions later on. And the closing is where we have an announcement about the next Tauke Talks and also the ongoing program from RISE. Okay. So before we start, the guidelines is number one, please stay muted and turn off your video because we'll be recording the session and be posting it online the day after the Tauke Talks. So please stay muted and turn off your video. Secondly, if you have any questions, feel free to type it in the chat. We'll be asking Dr. Shaz the questions during the Q&A session. And then lastly, please use respectful language in the chat so we can keep this environment a healthy and learning environment. Okay. So my name is Denise. Welcome to Tauke Talks, a series of sharing sessions where we ask small but mighty business owners, just like Dr. Shaz, like for MakCik Travels, to share about their motivation, how they started their business, and the story behind their journey. Okay. So this Tauke Talk session is brought to you by RISE, R-I-S-E, a Malaysian research and social outreach, where we do projects that empowers Malaysian youth and empowering them through entrepreneurship. So RISE is supported by City Foundation. And we believe that entrepreneurship is not only for like big tech startups, but also for the small and mighty businesses, just like MakCik Travels. So we are hoping to showcase all the stories about local businesses that are persevering and chasing their dreams even during the pandemic, right? So we're happy to welcome Dr. Shaz from MakCik Travels.
Hi, everyone. Nice to see you.
Great.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, we are very happy to have you here today. Can you introduce yourself and then also about MakCik Travels?
Okay, my name is Sazlina, and I'm the CEO and the co-founder of MakCik Travels, which I started with my daughter, Siti Sarah. So MakCik Travels, okay, people get excited when they hear the word MakCik. They say, what is it about? Why is MakCik traveling? Okay, so basically MakCik Travels, we provide travel companionship service for ladies, elderly, children, and individuals with special needs. Okay, so our ladies, okay, who work as freelancers, they are called adinita, and they carry out tasks as drivers or companions, right? So drivers pick up clients from one location to another using their own car. And companions who are ladies, they will accompany clients at certain locations such as hospitals, dialysis centers, clinics, schools, and etc. Right? So on top of this, MakCik Travels, we provide platform for ladies to generate income as adinita. Right? For this reason, MakCik Travels, we consider ourselves as social enterprise, which we based on UN Sustainable Developmental Goals, which are to achieve gender equality for women and also to empower women, girls, as well as promoting sustainable growth income and productive employment and also decent work for ladies, right? So that is basically one of our main goals of our services. Okay. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. So if anyone here in the Tauke Talk session today, if they want to find out more, what's the best way to find out more about your services?
Yeah, we have our own website where we have almost details about our services, how to contact, how to make bookings, and also for Adinita who like for ladies who like to register as Adinita, they can go to our website and they can register through our website. Right. So and we also have two active social media, Facebook and also Instagram, which we post almost daily about what are the new services that we have and how to actually, where exactly you can actually get our services. Yeah.
Okay. My next question would be about like what inspired you to start a service the safe and secure service for women or even people with special needs? How did you come up with this idea?
Okay. So MakCik Travels, we registered actually in 2018. When we started, at first we want to register with SSM as MakCik Travels, but due to the name, okay, two things that were not allowed by SSM is you can have two languages in one name. Okay, so MakCik is in Malay and Travels is in English, so it's not allowed. And then the word travels is actually only for people who are doing tourism, etc. So we actually register ourselves as Auntie Wonders Enterprise. So Auntie Wonders means auntie who is wandering around lah. Okay, so now how do I get this idea? Actually, my background, I'm actually a lecturer in rehabilitation at Institut Kebangsaan Malaysia for more than 20 years, right? And my specialty is actually working with people with special needs for rehabilitation. And my focus is actually on community-based services. So for years and years, when we provide services for elderly, children with special needs, people with special needs, one of the things that I found that when we ask them to come to the clinics, they always say, "Oh, there's nobody to accompany me. I'm too scared to get a taxi. I'm too scared to ride a bus. I think it's too dangerous for me, etc." So I was saying to myself, if only there are people who can actually bring this group of individuals to the clinics, because for rehabilitation is an intensive and continuous process. You cannot have like a gap in the program. So I said, somebody needs to have a service for for people with special needs. So in 2018, my daughter Siti Sarah, she was in college, and when she was in college, she once in a while she will buy McDonald's. I was saying to her, why are you buying McDonald's? Like you can get something which is much more healthier. She said, I'm treating myself. I'm working, I'm doing Grab for ladies. That's what she said, Grab for ladies. I said, okay. So I'm getting income basically for my services. So I said to her, this is something that people want. I think if you put your mind to it, if you focus on what you're doing now, if we can make it like a proper service, you can actually do more income. You can have you can generate your own income through your what you're doing. So my kids, she was actually 19, Siti Sarah, and knowing people at the age, they are playing games, etc. They were sitting around and say, okay, sure, mom, okay, just do whatever. But I created a poster and I put on my Facebook page, my Facebook profile. I said, ladies, if you need service, please contact my daughters. I have two daughters at the time who keep on playing PUBG and so on. So so I post that poster, and that poster went viral. My friends share it with everyone. And then my daughter's been getting WhatsApp and calls from ladies asking for the service. And they were saying like, okay, whenever that they can, they will do it because they are also studying at the time. But they were saying like, Mom, 3 o'clock in the morning, people WhatsApp me if I can send them to work tomorrow. I mean, they said that it's too overwhelming for them. So, okay, I said, this looks like something that is means the demand is there. Demand is there. So when Siti Sarah is about to complete her diploma, I actually discuss with her the business opportunity. So I told let's go to SSM and let's register as a company. So we did that. So just before she received her diploma, we registered as a company and we started the business. And when we started the business, it was it was we were quite surprised. Actually, we didn't realize that how much demand there are for this type of service. So basically that is how we started lah.
Oh, it's great to hear how your your service is actually meeting such a need. That's why there was so much demand in the beginning. I was wondering, were there any challenges you faced when you first started with your daughter?
Okay. Like I mentioned before, because we didn't actually expect the demand that we're going to receive. So when first started, we started with only 20 drivers, and these drivers are in Bangi and Kajang. And then we start receiving more calls all over Selangor. People were saying like, do we have ladies in Rawang? Do we have ladies in Petaling Jaya? So it was becoming too overwhelming for us, and so what we did was we start to expand, and we get more Adinta to work with us. Then we realized that when we use WhatsApp, it was too much because WhatsApp is only allowed for two users. So we need to learn on how to cope with the demand, and we had to engage agents to help us. We call them agents, where we actually pay them with every bookings that they make. Okay. So I think the initial challenge was coping with the demand lah. And I was thinking initially, I would have this business just for my kids so that they have work to do, so that they won't be lingering around playing games and so on. And when it becomes too overwhelming, we had to quickly figure out how to overcome, because we cannot just say, okay, looks like we cannot cope, we just need to stop, because the service is much needed. So we had to learn quickly how to adapt. So we come up with a few ways to improve our operations. So we implemented many strategies, but two things that, only I will share with two strategies that we use. And bear in mind, if you want to you want to come issues, or you want to grow, you need to invest. Okay, and you need to invest in a strategy that you believe will work, right? So two things that we did. First, we created our own web-based platform to manage our bookings, because initially when we used WhatsApp, all the bookings is in the WhatsApp, and WhatsApp has flaws because when it crashes, the bookings also went missing. I had one incident where our admin accidentally deleted all the messages. I was really frantic at that time. I remembered she just deleted everything. And we said, no, we cannot cope with this type of system. So we actually upgraded. We have our own online system that we can track bookings, and we can follow up with customers and so on. And secondly, using WhatsApp, because we are personalized business, we personalize bookings based on requirements of each customer. So we need to actually communicate with them. So we actually invest in an omni-channel communication platform. Okay, so you have to have one good omni-channel communication platform where you can have 3 admins, 2 or 5 admins that work simultaneously using one number. Okay, so that is what basically what we did lah, to actually improve and overcome the issues that we had initially.
Wow, thanks for sharing those. Like, how did you overcome the first time when you first started a business? I was wondering, have you started a business before? Like, is this how you got the idea, the knowledge on how to handle all these challenges? Or was it like, how did you find out like what is best to overcome these challenges? Did you start a business before?
I don't have business before, but actually our Adinita, okay, our Adinita, some of them are actually Grab drivers. They work with Grab, and they work with other online services. So they are the ones that actually provide us suggestions. They always provide suggestions. They were saying like, you should do this, you should do that. So we actually discuss with them what are the things, or how to improve and so on. That's why when you are starting a business and when you're young and you're not experienced enough, don't say that, don't shut yourself from suggestions. Okay, always open up and listen to suggestions. Don't say, oh, orang ni ingat saya tak pandai or something like that. You have to actually be humble, and you have to actually don't be ego with what you are doing. Okay, always be humble and always try to listen to suggestions on how to improve. So that is basically how we actually try to strategize on the changes and so on. I think because my background, I don't have background in business. Because of that, I actually took classes. I took classes myself, took classes at my age. Age is not a matter. Even if I'm currently 50, I took classes from MDEC, from people, how to do marketing, how to do, how to actually do Facebook business. Don't be shy. Just go and attend classes so that you can, have yourself knowledge that can help you with the business. I think that is one thing that is important.
Yeah, that's a very good tip. Like,
yeah.
Always be humble and be open to learn, even from like you said, even from online, any website and any webinars going on.
Yeah, because I work with my daughter. She's very young, so I always tell her, if there's any classes, just go and learn, and that's how we grow. Yeah.
Great. The next question I have is about what were the challenges that MakCik Travels faced during the pandemic? I'm sure since you are sometimes your customers are maybe senior citizens or even people from special needs. How did you cope during the pandemic?
Okay, a lot of people ask me these questions, and my answer is always, yalah, nama pun MakCik Travels kan. So during pandemic, obviously, when the movement control order was implemented, so you cannot travel lah. You cannot travel, you cannot go anywhere kan. So on top of not able to travel or to accompany people, our Adinita, who are all ladies, all our Adinita are ladies, they had to actually stay at home and take care of the family. So in other words, during MCO, actually we cannot generate income at all. Okay, we cannot generate income at all, and we had problem paying salary, and we had problem maintaining the office. So the first thing that I had to do is we had to close the office. We had to move out from our office because we cannot pay for the office. So when the government said, okay, they are providing support, financial support, we grabbed the opportunity. Okay, so we managed to maintain paying salary for at least 3 months. Okay, for at least 3 months. So in other words, during MCO is totally no services at all. So last year was a very bad year lah. And to be honest, my daughter and I were saying like, probably this is it. This is probably we are not able to continue. But I actually went around. I asked my friends. I asked other entrepreneurs. Like, what should we do? Should we just close our service, or should we just continue? So most of my friends, because we are actually most of my friends are working in with people with special needs, so they were saying like, no, why should you close? Like, try to find a way to sustain your business. Probably you can start again, and you can think of a way to overcome it. Try to get income coming in. Try to get generate revenue and so on. So we had a few people as our silent partners to actually provide us advice. Like, okay, we have this issue. Okay, what should we do? So we have a few people who are actually working, sebalik tabir lah. Okay, helping us, providing us advice on what to do. All right. So we had many Zoom meetings with people. And we create collaborations actually during MCO. We create collaborations with universities. Okay, we contacted UPM. UPM has what they call a My Aging Center. Okay, and we are collaborating with them. We're discussing on actually how to provide service after MCO. And then we are talking to UKM, UPSI, UST, Pendidikan Sultan Idris on education for Adinita. So we are actually thinking of creating modules to do online training for our Adinita, how to enhance the service once MCO has been lifted, right? And also currently we are applying grants from the governments, because currently governments are having a lot of grants on how to upgrade our platforms, because we're thinking like if we can have platforms that are more probably more automated and with algorithm that fit the needs of people with special needs, that will actually enhance the service and also sustain the service in the future. So those are the things that we are currently doing. So I'm telling my daughter, my co-founder, you know, this is an opportunity actually. Don't see pandemic as a way of putting you down. It's actually an opportunity for us to grow silently, but hopefully for the better, right? So that is basically what we're doing right now lah. Although we are not doing it like, you don't see it, us doing it openly, but we're doing it, you know, with other people so that we can actually grow and sustain. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing like how you have, I really like the mindset that you have, like continuing growing and also being resourceful, right? Like cutting down some costs that you might not need, like for example, maybe your office, and even
Actually,
upskilling your.
yeah, we had 3 lines actually for bookings. We had 3 main lines for people to contact us. So to cut costs, we had to cut off 2 lines, and we maintain only 1. So that is why we only using 1 line for people to actually contact us. Yeah.
So I'm going to my next question. With the uncertainty that caused by the pandemic still ongoing, how are you planning to help your business to maybe maintain or even recover?
Yeah. As I mentioned before, this is the best time to do collaborations. And with the government, government has listed out many grants where they encourage private government partnership. Okay, where, you know, if the university is doing research, they need to find a partner or collaborator from the private sector. So this is what we are doing. We are actually hoping to apply a grant with a university to actually do research looking into how to enhance our service. Okay, because at the moment our service, we are still doing it personalized and manual. So we're hoping that if we can work with a university, create an algorithm that can help people with special needs, we can actually create an app that is women friendly, elderly friendly, OKU friendly, you know, people with special needs that can actually use to help them travel. Because in rehabilitation, my area of expertise, travel is actually another level of independence. Okay, you can say to a person, you know, being independent is, you know, learn, you know how to actually dress up yourself, you know how to groom yourself, etc. But travel is another level. To actually, for a people with special need to leave their home, that is another level of independence, to be able to be independent outside your own comfort zone. So at the moment, there is no application that help people with special needs to go leave their home and explore outside world. So this is something that we're hoping to apply a grant to help us create like an app that can help people with special needs. So that is what we are currently doing lah.
Wow, sounds so exciting. Like an
So
app.
exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was wondering, what do you feel was your proudest achievement to date, like so far from 2018 all the way to now for MakCik Travels?
Okay. Proudest moment, proudest achievement. Okay, we actually received a Silver Tulip Award from London Examination Board in 2019. But I won't say that as the most proudest moment. I have to say the proudest achievement for me is actually seeing my children working in this business. Okay, currently I have 3 children working. Initially, Siti Sarah, who is the co-founder, she started this business at 19 years old, very young, very motivated, but yet she has this young person punya, way of doing things, always getting angry, always want to do things in rush and so on. So I watched her grow, for 3 years working with her. I can see that she has grown a lot. Okay. And I think that is my proudest moment lah, when I watch her, even when our admin contact us like, okay, we have problems so, quickly she will say, okay, this is what we need to do. A, B, C, D, E. And I said like, okay, like 3 years ago, she will not be able to do that. But now she's doing it, managing the accounts, managing the operations, able to solve issues, come up with solutions, making their own, and then making their own income. They said, okay, with this, after I generate income, I would like to purchase iPhone, for example. And she is able to do that. And I said, I'm proud that she is able to generate her own income and able to grow at a very young age. There is something young. To me, I think I'm very proud of this achievement. I mean, seeing your children grow. So 2 of my kids now are joining, and hopefully they're doing the same. That is, I think that's the proudest moment for me.
Yeah, that's very heartwarming because it's not every day you see a mother and daughter duo, right?
Yeah.
And then soon maybe even your other children will be joining in.
Because I remember when we first started, a lot of issues that we have, I have to jump in, and I have to be the one to come with solution. But I have my own work. I'm working as a lecturer, so sometimes I'm not able to do that. But right now, since Siti Sarah, she's doing the operations, I can see that she can manage it on her own. I don't need to actually jump in. I normally read some of the things that she advised our MA. I say, wow, okay, this is quite good. This is something young. I'm really glad that she's able to do that. Yeah.
Okay. I remember you mentioned a few things about like getting support, silent partners, going around and learning from different people, different organizations. Can you name maybe one entrepreneur that you admire and tell us why that person inspire you?
Okay, one entrepreneur. Yeah, there are many people that I look up to lah. And MakCik Travel being in social enterprise, I suppose the main person that I really look up to is Professor Muhammad Yunus. Do you know who he is? He's the social entrepreneur, the person who actually kind of started the actual social entrepreneur projects, right? So he started Grameen Bank in Bangladesh to help ladies who have problem starting business because they don't have a capital. So he actually started this Grameen business to help these ladies generate income and so on. So I look up to him. I always, when we are feeling down with the business, of course, business, there's up and down. I always remember this, how a person can actually change life of others. And this is what I always tell my kids, do it, sincerely, do it because you want to help others. And you know that with helping others, God will help you, and also generate income at the same time. So this is one person that I always look up to lah. I always read up about him, and what are things that he done, and sometimes I also read up other social entrepreneurs as well who actually started and how they overcome their issues with their business.
Yeah. Sharing. So my last question is, before we go on to the questions that the audience have asked, do you think young people should start their own business and why?
Okay. Okay. It's hard. Yeah, I mean, this question is difficult, especially during this pandemic time, right? I mean, I wouldn't say like will force you to do business because business is really challenging. It's really, really challenging. But coming from me, okay, I work with an organization for 20 years. Okay, for you to build your career in an organization is difficult because criteria for advancement in your career is fixed by your employer, right? For you to move in your career lah. So so you found that if you have like a creativity that you want to use or you want to create income, it's very, very difficult with this fixed criteria. So if you do business, your achievements and your failures are based on your own hard work. Okay, and no one else. It's not anybody's fault. It's wherever that you do your achievements is your own work. Your failures is also your own work. So you work for you. So doing business is basically you doing work for you lah. So you get income based on something that you love to do. Okay, so always when you do business, if you love making hamburgers, then you do it and you will enjoy doing it. Okay, so that is why if you do business, do something that you really enjoy. And of course, at times it will be difficult. Okay, but don't be shy to ask for help. Even at my age, I'm 50 now. I still ask for help. I still ask for opinions, for other people's opinions. Don't be shy to ask, and always plan your business well. Do market survey, and always find opportunity to attend courses. Okay, being a lecturer, of course, lecture, kena masuk lecture. Kena masuk, bukan, not saying that you must, but you need to have some knowledge to be able to overcome some of the issues that you may find in the future, right? And secondly, if you're young, try to find a mentor that can also guide you. And if you feel that like right now I have an idea, I think I want to start, do it now when you are young, because there are so many years ahead of you that you need to overcome to be good at what you're doing. Okay, it's not like you terus you buat hari ni, esok juga you akan berjaya. It's not like that. You need to go through the up and down, the roller coaster of doing business to be able to make good business in the future. Okay, and don't give up. Okay, if always have a partner or have a mentor to actually help you and guide you. Okay, and family, keep your family close as well. I think that is also very, very important because they are your emotional, what do you call it? Support that you need. The family is the emotional support that you need to proceed in the business, right? Okay, itu saja.
Wow, that's a lot of very meaningful insights and also tips for everyone here to hear. Thank you so much for sharing. I think we might go over a little bit of time, about 5 to 10 minutes, everyone, so that everyone's question will be answered. I think someone asked, Doctor, why do you think Grab or other established transportation services haven't thought of doing something like your business? Or maybe they thought of it and choose not to do it? What do you think?
Okay, let me just share my experience. Being in rehabilitation, I work with people with autism, individuals with autism. And I was in a center, early intervention center for children with autism. And in that center, kids need to attend the center every day, right? So some of them, because we are the only government center that provides early intervention, so we have a lot of parents from all over the country actually come to the center. We have people from, from other states that travels to Kuala Lumpur just to receive the intervention. So one of the things that they always say when we ask them to come is they say, we don't have transport. I'm working in PJ and the center is in Sentul. And so it's very difficult for me to send because I need to leave my work and so on. So they actually took Grab. Or so other transportation services, but they are always scared, of their children's well-being, because they don't know who is going to take their children. So I suppose if there is some way of having a transport that can actually be personalized to the needs, I suppose that will also help lah. So that is when I got the idea of helping these parents. I said, if only. So when we started, we actually promote to the parents. We have a lot of parents actually getting our service to help and send their children. It is a bit costly, but in special needs, when you give early intervention, the future of the children is more secure. Okay, so we always tell parents, invest early, get a transportation that you feel is safe for your children. Make sure that your children get the intervention that he or she needs. So why the other establishment haven't thought of this is probably because of the number. I remembered when I actually presented to an organization, they said, how many people are there with special needs? Is there actually a demand? So this is something that is very, very difficult because the number of people with special needs registered with the government is actually very low. For us to show the number to susah. Okay, so the establishment, they are looking for numbers. So if you provide services to cater for this small group of people, you are not going to make enough income to support your organization. So that is why. But for me, because I work in this system, I know the service are there. I know the demand are there. That's why I am kiranya berani lah to start the business because I know the demand is there. Hanya we need to find out how to make it more easier for them and also to train our adinta so that they know how to actually engage with people with special needs. That is something because we have ladies that said, oh takutlah nak ambil OKU because they don't know how to fold the wheelchair, they don't know how to manage the wheelchair, for example, kan? So that is something that we are still learning lah. It's actually a learning process lah. For an establishment to start a service like this, they need to have some background in this area to be able to know what to do, right? Okay.
Hope that answer your question. We have another question from Nathan. He asked Dr. Shaz, how did you get your customers to trust you? How did you garner that demand? Was it because of good review, word of mouth?
Okay. For trust is something yang a bit ni lah sebab we have a lot of customers actually calling us saying like, how do you actually provide safe and secure transportation? It's very, sampai sekarang pun I think it's very difficult for me to answer that question kan, because first we need to trust our adinta. We need to trust, which is difficult because there are a lot of them. We have like 300 adinta at the moment. So that is why we are thinking of having a module to train them, to make sure that they actually attend training, that they actually know what to do. At the moment, training is a bit difficult. We actually started training before MCO. We have like trainings on autism, training on basic life support. We did that. But when MCO, everything stopped. So sebab yalah, we cannot have like face-to-face punya ni, because training for OKU, the best training is actually face-to-face. Okay, so this is something that we are discussing with the university. Okay, how to actually provide online training that is where you can see the outcome, the learning outcome from that actual course. So this is something that so I think gaining trust is difficult. So normally it's word of mouth lah. So what we have is like, because I have a lot of friends who are doctors, they themselves actually encourage their patients to actually get MakCik Travels. Okay, especially if the children say, oh, I cannot take my mom to clinic. So some of my friends will say, you know, why don't you take MakCik Travels? So I have some advantage in that sense lah. Okay. And also when we have good reviews, we actually put it online to our Facebook. And also we interview our customers as well. Customers who are using our service, we actually interview them. We do live interview with them and put it on our Facebook so that people will know what exactly to expect from the service. Yeah. Okay, thank you for the question, Ed.
I hope that answers your question, Nathan. Yeah, definitely. Like the reviews from the customer itself, sometimes it's definitely better in garnering trust, right, about your own service. Thank you so much. I think that's all the questions we have for today. That was Dr. Shaz, everyone, from MakCik Travels, sharing about her experience of starting a business and running it at Tauke Talks, brought to you by RISE and supported by Supreme Foundation. I think one of the main takeaways I learned, I definitely learned a few things, like how you said to believe and invest in a strategy and also to cope during a time, right? Like from all the way from WhatsApp to a web place and maybe one day an app. Also that she has that mindset where she listens to even her employees, to the people around her, the customers, and always have that learning attitude and humble attitude to continue learning from websites, learning from other people, asking other entrepreneurs. And she did mention a few tips if any one of you wanted to start a business, about getting a mentor, and also continue to remind yourself if you're a social enterprise to look for to continue to provide sincere and genuine help. That's what I learned from Dr. Shaz today. So I hope everyone has learned something new as well. And if you enjoyed this session, I hope that you can maybe sign up for our next Tauke Talks. We have a session with Allegra, from Gwen from Allegra, who does a fashion subscription service. You can check them out and also sign up using that link bit.ly/Tauke Allegra. Okay. If you'd like to know more about Tauke Talks, you can follow us on our social media. Besides that, we also have a free online course currently, which is called Rise Online 2021. So it's a free online course on the basics of entrepreneurship. It's totally free. And if you're a Malaysian, aged 18 to 28 years old, you stand a chance to win 10,000 ringgit for your seed funding to start your own business. To find out more information, you can sign up at bit.ly/riseonline2021. Yeah, I think that is all. If you want to find out more about Tauke Talks and any upcoming sessions we have, or even find the recording later on, you can search us at Tauke Talks at Facebook and Instagram, as well as YouTube. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming. Thank you very much, Dr. Shaz, for spending your time here and sharing your
invitation. Thank you so much for listening, and best of luck for everyone.
Yes, indeed. All the best for MakCik Travels and hope to see you soon.
Hopefully. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everyone.